Hi, I'm Kubeir. I'm back here again today answering your frequently asked questions, burning points, areas of concern. And today I'm going to talk about a very important area of application, which is changes after you have received your invitation to apply, what changes you can make, what changes you shouldn't make, all about that. Stay tuned. Hi, welcome back. So ITA, great moment. Congratulations, you've received your ITA, invitation to apply. It's a great thing. I know it's a great feeling. You must have waited for so long to get it. Eventually you have it. And once you get it, sometimes you realize there are certain parts on your profile that do not look correct, that do not feel correct. For example, you could have entered the month of your education incorrectly. You could have chosen the wrong NOC code. You know, it happens a lot of time. You could have made mistake in the date of your employment. You could have made a mistake in your date of birth. You could have made a mistake in your name. You could have made a mistake in your spouse's name. What are you going to do? Do you need to decline your ITA? In a lot of cases, it's all right to decline. You know, there's no problem declining your ITA because your profile will come back into the Express Entry pool. But I do not always recommend declining your ITA because sometimes you must have got your, for example, let's just take for an example, 19th of December, score drawn was 439 and you did receive an ITA at 439. Should you decline it? Absolutely not, because we do not know when 439 might strike again. So please do not decline your ITA just like that, or just because somebody else said that, or just because some Facebook group somebody said, oh, please decline your ITA. Don't do that. Just because you went into a WhatsApp group, somebody said decline your ITA because you can't make these changes and visa officer will refuse your application. And please, okay, understand what happens here. Once you get your ITA, your digital footprint of all the changes you will make in your application are recorded. Fair enough. But what does the law say? The law says that your ITA under the score or under the circumstances that you have received your ITA and under the circumstances that you will file your application after your ITA should remain the same, the circumstances, okay? So under this, any area of your application which does not change the circumstances of you having received your ITA, that can be changed, no problem there, okay? So for example, if by changing your employment date, when I'm saying date, I mean it doesn't reduce your work period or it doesn't increase your work period, that's fine. By changing your education date, it doesn't really make any difference whatsoever in your scores or in your circumstances. By making a change in your alphabets of your name, of your spouse's name, it won't make any difference whatsoever. When you change your NOC, as long as it remains valid, so for example, it was skill type 0A or B, and you realized your NOC should be 6531, okay? Now 6531 is ineligible for Express Entry. So please do not go and make your NOC 6531 because that will make your application ineligible. That will change the circumstances of your application, and that is definitely a problem. But for example, your NOC code is 1111, which is for an accountant. And you want to change it to 0111, 0111, which is for a financial manager, because earlier you thought your application was more in line, or your job roles and responsibilities were more in line as an accountant, but now that you have received your reference letter and there are areas of your reference letter which point your NOC to be better match with 0111, go ahead and change it. It's not a problem. Make sure you explain it in your letter of explanation. Please be very clear. Say that you have realized that 0111 is a better match and that you have gone ahead and changed it, and that's fine. You know, it's not a problem. So keep in mind, as long as the circumstances under which you have received your ITA and the circumstances under which you will file your application, as long as they stay same, means there is no change to scores, there is no material factor difference, there is no problem in changing or making any changes in your application post ITA. So you know your express entry profile is now frozen. Now the changes will happen only in your application, which is post-ITA. So once you get your ITA, you will have continue, and you will press the continue button, and you will go into the application form. So the changes will happen here. And this is where you can make any kind of changes you want to your application. So don't be worried about it, all right? If there is any changes you make, as I said, there will be digital footprint. Make sure you mention that in your letter of explanation. I hope that clarifies your doubt and you're not concerned about it anymore. You know, it's very natural that you would have joined tons of Facebook groups. You would have joined tons of WhatsApp groups. You would be visiting so many different forums. Do your due diligence. Understand what the visa officer is looking for. When in doubt, go back and check CIC website. All these details are mentioned under A11.2, which stands for Immigration Refugee Protection Act, Section 11, Subsection 2. You can check the operational bulletins, which is mentioned on the CIC website, and it will give you an understanding of what they are looking for between an ITA and an application submission. So please don't fall into the trap of hearsay. Please do not get confused when different people tell you different things, because either they are ignorant or they themselves are basically believing something which was told to them in ignorance. So make sure you get the right information. Always follow IRPA or IRPA, which is Immigration Refugee Protection Act or regulation, or CIC website or ministerial instructions. Do your due diligence, do your research, and only then make changes. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.